Good afternoon, my name is Jason Millett. I'm a chef at Liaison College, and I'm just going to show you a quick entree dealing with chicken. Very simple dish actually, very simple to prepare too. What I'm doing is I'm using a chicken breast with the shoulder still attached, so we call that chicken supreme. I'm going to be wrapping it in some beautiful prosciutto, okay? When you work with prosciutto, there's only one thing you really got to worry about is this saltiness, okay? So don't season anything that you're cooking prosciutto with too much. Always go low on your seasoning anyways, okay? With the chicken, we're going to saute that and then finish it in the oven. I'm going to do some broccoli, okay? And I've got a garnish there, and I also did a pumpkin puree, okay? So what's going to happen is I'm going to put the pumpkin puree down, I'm going to put the chicken on top, I'm going to put the broccoli down that's beautifully sauteed, and I'm going to garnish it, and then there you go. You got everything that you need for your dinner, okay? So I guess the first thing I should start with is explaining my vegetables, okay? Broccoli, I just took some flowerets of broccoli and I blanched them in cold, well, hot water, but you started in hot water, sorry. And I blanched it for a minute or so, okay? The water should be salty and it should be simmering. You never really boil anything in cooking, maybe water, and that's about it, okay? So what I'm going to do now, I cooled it by putting it in cold water, and I've taken it out of the cold water. We call that blanching and then shocking. Okay, what that does is it gives the broccoli a beautiful green color, okay? And it gives any vegetable actually, it improves their color, okay? The pumpkin squash, sorry, the pumpkin puree, did the exact same, I cut the pumpkin up, I put it into a saute pan, I then added a little bit of moisture, I cooked it, and then I pureed it. Make sure that you cook it past al dente, so it's very soft, okay? It'll puree much easier. I then seasoned it, strained it, and then re-seasoned it, okay? And it's a nice color. The color's going to help my plate. I've got an orange, I've got a green. I'm gonna have a beautiful golden brown from the chicken, and that's it, and that's all I really need, okay? So to reheat this is very easy. Just do it in a saute pan or in a double boiler or anything, okay? If I wanted to, I could actually cook that and reheat it in the oven and just continually stir it, okay? So those are the vegetable accompaniments that's going with it. What I'm going to show you is how to do the chicken. Very easy, okay? So here's your chicken breast, okay? Very simple. I cleaned it. I bought the chicken for $9. I now have 2 chicken breasts, I have 2 thighs, and I have 2 legs. And I've got a carcass to make chicken stock. So if you can sometime, learn how to debone and clean a chicken. It's much more efficient and cheaper, okay? When you're working with chicken, you must be careful not to contaminate. Salmonella is a very serious problem with chicken and any seafood item, as well as eggs, okay? So what I have is I have my board totally free and clean of any other ingredients. No other ingredients are on this board, okay? Now to use the prosciutto works very well when it's cold. It works a lot better when it's cold than when it's room temperature, okay? The fat in the prosciutto starts to, well, melt, I guess you could say, all right? So what I do is I put down 2 good strips of prosciutto and try to get your, the butcher or the deli guy to cut a full piece, okay? Not little scraps. I'm gonna use 3 pieces only because that's a fairly large chicken breast, okay? And I'll make sure that gets all the way up there. And I'll overlap that. Because these are 2 pieces, I can roll it that way. This overlap piece that's broken will still roll because it's on top of these guys, okay? For my chicken, I'm going to lightly season it with pepper, but no salt. I'm going to allow the salt from the prosciutto to season my chicken, okay? And if I wish, I can put a little bit of peppers here as well, okay? I enjoy pepper. I enjoy black pepper. I think it's a great ingredient, and it's a great flavor profile, a builder, okay? So I have my chicken breast. I'm just going to lay it out. Make sure that the shoulder is sticking out, okay? I'm going to wrap the prosciutto over top, and then I'm going to do that. Just keep rolling it. And what you want is you want the seam of the prosciutto to be on the underside of the chicken, okay? Or the underside of whatever ingredient that you're cooking with, so you don't necessarily see it, okay? You don't see the seam. So that is ready to go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to now saute it, or pan broil it. Saute is a better answer, okay? Minimal amount of fat and a medium to high temperature, okay? I'm going to sear it till it turns golden brown on one side, and then I'm going to flip it over and finish it in the oven. Once again, I get my pan nice and hot. If you have trouble with your meat sticking to your pans and stuff, and you have trouble flipping it and turning it, what it is you're putting it in when the pan is cold. It's very important to get the pan hot, and it sears the food, and it comes off the pan no problem, okay? So my pan should be fairly hot by now. It's got a little bit of moisture in it. Okay, that's hot enough. I'm going to add just a little bit of oil, not too much, because I'm going to have some fat from the prosciutto, and I'm going to have some fat from the chicken itself. I add just a little pinch of salt. That was a tiny pinch of salt. Okay. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to put the chicken, or whatever you're doing, presentation side first. Put it in the pan, presentation side first. Okay. Just going to toss the pan here, make sure I got oil on everything, and I'm going to gently put it in away from me. Okay. And your pan your food should make a nice sizzle when it goes in. That's how you know that the pan is hot enough. Okay. So while that's cooking, I can reheat all my other ingredients. So if you are doing this at home, you can cook all your broccoli at once and shock it, and then you got enough for the week, or at least for 2 meals. You can blanch everything on a Sunday. It doesn't take much work to do all these things, and then during the week, it's very easy to create and prepare meals, okay? Especially pasta and everything. Using tongs to avoid burning, of course. Be careful when you're using tongs. Tongs can destroy the integrity of the meat if you pull on it too hard, or if it sticks to the pan, which it shouldn't. Okay, and I'm going to wait till it has a nice golden color right at the very bottom. As soon as I start seeing a nice golden brown at the very bottom of the protein or whatever I'm cooking, that means it's seared on, to golden brown on the underside. So that's the time that I use to flip it or turn it. Okay? And once again, put it in away from you. Okay? And once I've done that, I heat it up just slightly. And then I'm going to finish it in the oven. Okay? It's got a nice golden brown, and it's going to have a nice crispy texture when it's done. Okay. So now that that's in the oven, I'm going to start my plate. What I need to do though is I need to sanitize myself, and I need to sanitize this board. But through the magic of TV, once again, I'm going to go do that really quickly.